I saying F-150? I'll take back what it took from me.
You're on the Moose. I'm your Bud the Dub, joined now by Heather from the the Fort St. John North Peace Museum. How's it going today, Heather?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. You're stopping by today to talk about a new exhibit you guys have up at the museum, and we're going to touch on International Museum Day, which is coming up next Tuesday, I believe it was. But why don't we start with the brand new exhibit you guys have going on there?
So this is an Indigenous cultural exhibit, and it was put together by BC Hydro's Indigenous Relations Group. So basically it talks about the impact that the dam will have on First Nation sites, and it features replicas of artifacts. They've done extensive digs all over the Peace River Valley in preparation for this, for the dam to go through. Those items have come and been stored in our archaeological repository at the museum, and then replicas were made of these artifacts, so this exhibit can travel around to various Indigenous communities, and we are thrilled to be hosting it at our museum too.
Wonderful. Is it just items from, say, like, for example, the future sightseeing reservoir area, or does it include stuff that maybe was impacted by, for example, the construction of the Williston Reservoir and that area?
It is pretty much stuff just related to Site C. They've been doing work for, I don't know, the past 8 years or so, doing archaeological digs. So they've collected a huge amount of stuff. So these are mostly sites that will be affected by the dam, either by water in the reservoir or by possible sloughing and so on. So they make up one component of the exhibit. There's a huge case that shows these and explains kind of what they are and dates the ones that can be dated. And then there's an interactive component in the middle made up of 2 video screens that look like drums intertwined. And one of those shows a bunch of sites that are important to the Indigenous groups in this area, as well as the archaeological sites where some of these items were originally found. And then there's another screen that has stories and songs, and listeners or visitors really can record their own comments about this exhibit, about the dam, and so on. And the last component is a half-scale model of a prehistoric bison that they found during these digs. So that's pretty cool because the bison has played a huge role for Indigenous groups in this area until it was wiped out in the early 20th century.
Wow. Sounds like an exhibit that'll have a huge impact. Now, related to that, International Museum Day, as I said, is coming up next week, which is a pretty big day for you guys.
So this day is marked every year. So every year has a theme, and this theme is the future of museums, recover and reimagine. As many people know, museums, like most businesses, have been very impacted by the pandemic. A lot of museums have been forced to close, or at least close partly, and some museums will never reopen, which is a lot of cultural resources lost or having to be transferred to other institutions. We're lucky that we are at least financially stable. We are taking the opportunity this International Museums Day to open our doors to the public for free. So this really, our collection is the community's collection. So this is your opportunity to check it out. By then our historic buildings will be open. And if you want to help the museum through these tricky financial times, as we don't have many visitors coming in the door, you are welcome to make a donation, or purchases from our gift shop help support museum operations as well.
Wonderful. And your gift shop, I've heard about it. It's got quite a few items. You've got some books by local authors. I believe you sell lots of kind of local stuff in there, don't you?
Yeah, some local stuff. We definitely have the best selection of books about the history of northern BC, Alberta, and the Yukon, in pretty much the whole Peace region. So come and check it out.
All right. What days and times? So free on Tuesday, May 18th, as you said, for
Yeah.
International Museum Day. When can people come by and check you out? What times and days are you guys normally open?
We are open currently Monday to Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 11 to 3, and those are just our reduced hours to allow for COVID cleaning at the end or beginning of each day.
Okay, and same hours on the Tuesday, the International Museum Day, I assume, eh?
Same hours, 10 to 4.
All right. Well, Heather, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome. That's Heather at the Fort St. John North Peace Museum.
It's been a long winter.